Hello and welcome to Nirmal Bang, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Hiral Dadia. We have with us Jitendra Adhia, President Finance, Atul joining in on the show. Welcome to the show, Jitendra. And
Thank
it's
you.
glad to have you as well with us. My first question coming to you over here is that all of us know that COVID-19 has had a major impact. In fact, even the last 10 days of March 2020, we did see the impact coming in terms of financial year FY20 as a whole. Uh, from April to now, we still have the first quarter earnings that are expected to come in. But overall, what's the kind of impact have you assessed on the back of COVID-19 on the auto sector as a whole and for Atul Auto?
Well, Hiral, thank you so much for inviting me on this particular show. From auto industry point of view, let me tell you, the obviously we were under panic even prior to COVID. The preceding year was at all not that convenient or comfortable for any automakers in the country. However, it has turned out to be a little more panicky when COVID initiated in sometimes in March. As of now, you can say that things are not that positive, and obviously the overall economic scenario is so gloomy that no one can predict.
Correct.
However, we can say that we have to start a new or a fresh pace in automobile industry.
Mm,
We
mm,
need to innovate different ways how we can survive through, or how can we sail through this particular tough time.
mm,
And if I back to Atul Auto Limited, I must say that since we deal in micro commercial vehicle
mm.
uh, and three-wheeler, as you know, it is an inevitable animal on Indian roads.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, the situation is quite contradictory. Uh, this particular three-wheelers are utilized for two different applications. One is cargo,
Mm,
where I obviously expect that going forward, things would be definitely be a little more positive, because I expect that uh, under a particular situation, people will avoid going outside and buying the things. Instead, I expect that e-commerce company business may go up, and this particular small micro commercial three-wheeler
mm.
will be used as last mile connectivity for distribution of the goods at customers' residence, or the place where they order. So cargo in totality, I expect that that may improve. A passenger, obviously, there are two different type of passenger three-wheelers available. One for urban, which is being powered with petrol engine; other for rural or semi-urban sector, which is powered with diesel engine. Now, in our country, if we leave the urban part, we go to rural or semi-urban, where mass transportation system is not available.
Mm,
This three-wheeler, they generally take more number of passengers,
mm,
and this is how they earn better money. I expect that due to strict social distancing norms, for a while, this particular passenger application three-wheeler may not do good volume, but
mm.
obviously we will work out something on the particular application and try to improve upon the sales as well going forward.
Right.
In short term, I don't expect that things may turn out very smoothly for Atul Auto.
Mm,
But in a medium to long run, yes, we are positive, and we expect that sometimes, from H2 or you can say quarter 4, things may
Correct.
start improve.
Right. And I think it's for, companies and industries across where there is, I mean, this kind of downtick that is going to come in. It's inevitable. I mean, no one can escape this downtick in terms of FY21 as well. But overall, if you go to see Atul Auto's run rate for a financial year, it's been in that range of around 600 to 650, 675 odd crores. If you have to look at FY21, how much of degrowth are you expected to take in?
Difficult to figure it out, Hiralji. Let us wait for one more quarter. One. However, what we try to understand from the pundits of the market and other, players, that this year for auto industry as a whole may be negative by anywhere between 30 to 45%.
Okay.
Fine. Atul Auto is no way exception, but
Correct.
we will definitely try to overcome the situation.
Mm.
However, until this entire process of unlocking is not over, it would not be prudent on my part to just give you any indication what kind of degrowth will be there.
Mm. Correct. And overall as well, in terms of where uh, the business is concerned, do you think of, I mean, there are a lot of sectors, where they have the opinion that probably if we've lost some sales in the first quarter or in the first half of the year, there is a possibility we could recoup some of the lost sales of the first half of the year in the second half. Whereas, yes, there are industries who might not be able to recoup those kind of losses. Now, auto industry itself is something where, yeah, probably if you've not made purchases in the first half, there is a possibility that the purchases could be deferred, to the second half of the year, and you could see some bit of a recovery. Are you expecting something like this?
Obviously, yes, but not to the quantum at which we lost the sales in
Mm-hmm.
first half, right? Historically, if you look at the volume in the industry, uh, first half generally contributes anywhere between 40 and 45%. The second
Correct.
half contributes around 55 to 60%.
Hmm.
Fine. So the gap would be too high to breach. Because if we lose the first quarter, you can always understand the first quarter was almost negative by say 90%.
Hmm.
Hardly there was a sales in month of June. The rest, all 2 months, that is April and May, was of almost nil sales for everyone.
Correct.
Fine. It would be really difficult for industry and even for Auto Limited to
Hmm.
cover up that particular gap.
Right. And overall as well, as we know, I think still majority of your business comes in from the domestic market, little over 50%. Do you think export market is something which will give you little bit of shield? How are the exports doing?
See, we are a comparatively new entrant into the export market. That is point one. Uh, Situation is almost similar like India. If I look at other economy where the three-wheelers are being exported, there are no countries which are exception or they have escaped from COVID impact. So the situation is almost similar, no change. But yes, there are chances for Atul Auto since we are a new entrant in this market, right? Obviously, whatever additional sales we will be able to gain, right, that is going to be counted in our overall volume and would be beneficial for us. But as of now, the countries in a continent like Africa or Latin America, the situation is similar to India. So very few chances where I can cover up the lost volume of domestic market in export.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
I expect that there will be definitely comparatively good numbers if I look at my FY20 volume.
Right. And then with this, Jitendra, the other option is, even if you have to look at the cargo segment or you have to look at the passenger segment, availability of retail finance through banks and NBFCs is something which, right now has become really strict. Do you think that could also be a hurdle with regards to sales?
Absolutely, yes. In fact, none of the independent financiers have come into the ground and they started funding in a free way.
Hmm.
Normally, the practice of the industry is that in the second fortnight of April, all the independent financiers they come into the market, they do the ties with OEM and they float the fresh or new schemes for the retail
Hmm.
with some targeted volume. Unfortunately, because of two things. One, there was a lockdown. Second, the moratorium was declared for almost all the term loans. Obviously, this is also considered as a term loan.
Hmm.
So the financiers are, as of now, are more anxious or they have an anxiety to just, have a right kind of collection cycle.
Hmm.
So it is but obvious that they are not interested in booking the fresh business as of now.
Hmm.
So they may take some more time and possibly uh, sometimes in H2 they may come out with proper ecosystems in place. They
Hmm.
may come out with a fresh scheme. Till then, yes, we have to expect that that is going to add one more challenge in life of OEM.
Right. And that's something which is going to be a challenge. And with this, if you have to look at from the last week of March, since the time the lockdown was announced to now, if you could just help us understand how has the capacity utilization improved from then to now, and overall in terms of, business impact, how much has it been?
See, March was obviously a kind of a crucial month for three-wheeler automakers
Hmm.
because there was a migration from BS4 to BS6. So obviously, we were busy in settling with the new type of product under BS6 with product sourcing, component sourcing, manufacturing arrangements, etc. April there was almost nil utilization.
Hmm.
Uh, May it was around 10%, which was improved to 20% in month of June capacity utilization. I'm
Hmm.
talking about Atul only,
Correct, correct.
right? And I expect that July may be little better than June.
Okay. So when do you think we could get back to that 70-75% utilization?
Uh, the intelligence which we receive from the market and we try
Mm,
to understand how the COVID is shaping up. As of now, it looks like that from October onwards, things may be normalized. But again, there is some kind of uncertainty in
mm,
case this goes on a peak because every day whatever we gather is from either from media or newspaper.
mm.
We understand that things are yet to pick up in India. So if it is worsen further, God knows when can we utilize the capacity above 50%. But as of now, it looks positive that from October onwards, things may start falling in place.
Right. And overall as well right now, in terms of the dealers that are operating for Atuloto, what's the status? Are all in operation, or what percentage of the dealers are working right now?
They almost all entire dealer network is
Mm,
operative, but there are certain constraints
mm,
of timings. Some are operative till 4 o'clock, some are operative till 5 o'clock.
mm,
There is a drop in footfalling. The inquiry levels have dropped, and in between. recently the Bihar was completely locked down again up to 31st July. So is the case with few other states as well. So these kind of, ups and downs are still there in the system. So you can't say that 100% dealerships are operative, but yes, once this entire process is over, our dealers are equipped and they are all set to go in for, full operation.
Right. Jitendra, another thing is, we've been hearing from a lot of industries saying that they are seeing good sales that's coming in from rural India versus the urban area, especially from tier 3, tier 4 cities. Now, for Atul Auto as well, again, rural is a strong market. So everyone's expecting that, companies which have a strong rural forte are the ones who are going to see a bounce back in business faster. From the dealer inquiries and from the, distributors, are you seeing those kind of orders that are coming in from rural India versus urban right now?
See, even we are equally positive and we too look forward for such kind of, things which may happen in H2. But as of now, let me be very simple about it. There is nothing so concrete on the table with which I can tell you that yes, things are stepping up in that particular direction. We are yet into a stage of liquid
Right.
situation. So I feel that let us wait for another month or so, because by September the festival season may also start and
Exactly.
the things may definitely turn.
Right. And then with regards to the expansion plans as well, northern and southern markets for Atul Auto's, focus area, I think till end of 2019, I think almost 25% of the revenues came from northern and the southern market. Now, what is the expansion plan on that front?
See, we are obviously improving in terms of volume in northern side. South, yes, I must say that we are yet to click that particular volume, although the south is another promising zone in terms of three-wheeler sales. But we are likely to have support from the financiers, which we expect that sometimes in this fiscal or next fiscal it will happen, and we will be able to have good volume from southern part as well. In
Right.
terms of dealership network, if I have to tell you, today we have around 220 primary dealers and around 120 secondary dealers in our network.
Hmm. Right.
I,
And
yeah.
yeah, go on.
Yeah, that's the daily as of now. Northern states are comparatively well penetrated if I look at my southern network.
Right. And with this, Jitendra, if you have to understand the new plant that has come up, 60,000 units is what we're looking at. Uh, have we commenced operations there, or because of the lockdown, we haven't commenced operations?
See, in the month of March, we had completed almost 85 to 90% of the project work.
Hmm.
And we were expecting that sometimes in April and May, we may commence a commercial production.
Hmm.
But unfortunately, because of lockdown, the
Hmm.
things were delayed, and now we expect that sometimes by end August, we will be able to complete the project work. One.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, about commencing a commercial production, our management has decided that we will review the situation
Hmm.
sometimes in September 2020, and then we will take a call. Once the project work is over, right?
Okay.
We will definitely look at the demand curve, and if it is improving, we will surely commence a commercial production, or otherwise we will take a call to delay it further, and we'll have another review sometimes in December.
Right. And so then if you have to look at the capex as well, around 80 crores is what you were looking to spend in FY20. So has that been utilized completely?
Absolutely.
And for FY21, the target was around 50 crores. So is that on track, or are we going to defer that capex right now?
See, what we have decided under this particular situation,
Hmm.
whatever equipments which are not directly linked with production,
Hmm.
right? The buying will be deferred to the next fiscal,
Correct.
and we will prioritize to complete the production facility first,
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
the entire capex was inclusive of certain R&D equipments which can be definitely hired outside as well. Those kind of purchases will be delayed or deferred, and that will be, taken into the next fiscal.
Right. And then what's the status with regards to the lithium-ion battery e-vehicle?
Uh, yeah, the impact is same. The project has
Hmm.
been delayed. Earlier, we were expecting that by December 2020, we will be able to bring the product. Now, under the circumstances, this particular project, it is on, but will be delayed by, say, a quarter or 2 quarters time.
Hmm. Okay. And Jitendra, the other thing is that RBI, as we know, has announced rate cuts right now. Now, we hear of a lot of auto companies which are trying and tying up with banks, NBFCs to come up with flexible EMI schemes for consumers. Is Atul Auto doing any easy financing kind of a deal with any particular NBFCs or banks right now to spur up demand?
See, we are in touch with all the financiers, but as I say, the financiers who are prominent in three-wheeler market,
Hmm.
they are yet to come out with the scheme. As of now, their prime focus is to have, their collection cycle set
Hmm.
first.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I expect that these financiers may come out with a new scheme, even with all the flexibilities which has been given by the government. Sometimes in H2, H1, I expect that things would be going on with a very slow pace and with the current practice only. There will not be any much change in the current practice, at least for H1.
Right. And overall, on the back of the expansion plan, which is delayed as well right now due to unforeseen circumstances, do you think there will be an impact on the debt side of it? Because we know Atul Auto has always been known as a debt-free company as of now.
I don't expect that there will be any negative impact on overall, financial profile of the company.
Hmm.
Fine, if we have to borrow, say, anywhere between 10-20 crore, that is obviously because of,
Correct.
the gap of sales, etc., and the delay in collection, etc. That's fine. But there will not be any severe impact on financial profile of the company. I don't
Right.
expect.
Right. And lastly, the other issue that, auto companies have been facing has been on the side of the labor, on the labor front. Now, has any of that issue come up for Atul Auto as well, where the labor has gone back, and that probably now getting them back to start working would increase wage costs?
I don't think so. Till now, the things were, very, very smooth for Atul Auto Limited.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, uh, there are a couple of incidents, but that has not impacted either way to the production cycle or anything for the company. Let us see once the volume improves, because a lot many workers have gone back. As of now, as we are operating at a level of, say, around 20% utilization,
Mm-hmm.
so maybe we are not able to judge the impact, but
Impact. Correct.
let us see once we reach above 50% or close to 70-75%, right? At that point in time, that may come on the surface, because there are a couple of plants where the outside state workers were running that plant, so they might have gone back.
Mm.
In particular, the contractors' labor, that is really uncertainable. How we will be able to just bring them
Correct.
back.
Correct.
But as of now, let me tell you, at least for next one quarter, things are well set for Atul Auto. There are no other severe impact on production cycle.
Right. And I think Jitendra, no one right now is able to foresee what's going to happen 3 to 6 months down the line. Everyone's just
Right.
thinking how is the next day expected to look like, or the next 1 month is maximum that everyone is foreseeing in terms of business as well.
Absolutely.
And I think that's how all of us will have to look at it from here on. But thank you so much for joining us on the show. Great insights that we picked up from you today. We will come back to you when things open up. Once businesses are running at probably full capacity utilizations as well. And thank you so much for joining in. I hope you discussed the conversation and stay safe.
Thank you so much. It was pleasure having interaction with you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.